Again, this was 100% Candace's fault. Why was Ray being so messy? I appreciate Wendy. Chris is always drinking. I was literally Karen's face. Mia gonna come out with a line of salad? Andy Cohen and Bravo are enabling her. I'm kind of on Robin's side for not inviting Wendy. Is it time for us to say goodbye to Candace? I can get Botox. What is Candace actually mad at? But it'll never stop my dancing from looking old. Just, we can't do that. I'm just team not Candace. These girls are not her friends. Y'all know I'm screenshot shorty. I'm really tired of Candace yapping. Everybody was like, oh, come on. Come on, pimp, the hoe is here. You wouldn't bust a grape in a fruit fight. I think she did the rooms exactly right. That wasn't constructive criticism. I can't just forget about how you spoke to me. But like, fam, you gotta stop. That's how Candace always fights. Verbally. What up, y'all, and welcome back to another recap of Real Housewives of Potomac with me, your girl Rizzo, from Rizzo with Love. Guys, I don't even want to talk about too much because I'm just like upset. I can't believe this happened again. And I told y'all about Candace not watching her mouth. This is crazy that this is the second season that we have seen this. This woman has not learned. And you know what? I feel like Andy Cohen and Bravo are enabling her because she only feels safe saying this type of stuff because she thinks she can't get out. And therein lies the problem. You know what? Let's get to it. I'm gonna save that for the recap. Cause really, y'all, before we even get into this, I'm Team Mia. And it's crazy because I'm not even like Team Mia. I'm just Team not Candace. So whoever it is, I'm that team. I'm sorry. I really try to be like this whole bipartisan. I want to uplift women. I don't really like to talk about people negatively. But like, fam, you gotta stop. I done messed up my whole intro because of this crazy stuff. All right, y'all. This is season 6, episode 13, GVO or GTFO. Good vibes only or get the F out. So I want to start off with something lighter. I want to say that this whole season, if we just ignore this little salad toss moment, this whole season, we have actually seen the women as wives and as moms. This season is a lot more family oriented. I really love that because I don't like to watch shows where it's just drama. I love to see some positivity. And this season, we have seen so many moms represented. And I love particularly, I've mentioned this before, we go back and forth on Wendy, but I love her as a mom and as a wife. We actually got to see the names of all 3 kids. So now I know it's Carter, Cruz, and Cameron. Because I always mix Carter and Cruz up. I'm like, who's the oldest? Who's the youngest? I feel like y'all are like 1 year apart, if that. And honestly, at this point, I still don't remember. It's got to be Carter. I'm gonna stop, whatever. Next up, I really love the opening scene where we saw Mia and her kids as she was packing up and they were like running to her. You saw that this wasn't anything to do with like Real Housewives of Potomac. This was her as a mom loving on her kids being like, oh, I'm gonna miss you. And her like genuine concern with her mom watching the kids for the first time. So I really love to see those moments where people kind of let their hair down. That's like what we saw last week when Candace gave Grace the keys and Grace asked Robin to come sit in the car with her. Like, that was a real not for TV moment, and I love that. Okay, so let's move into Chris and Candace pre all this drama. They do have kids because Chris has children who stay with them, but I'm assuming we don't see them anymore, so maybe they've gone back to school at this point. But I'll tell you one thing about Candace and Chris. Well, 2 things. One is that Chris is always drinking, and I love that Candace always asks him, are we drinking now? And he says yes. Anytime is a good time to drink. Go ahead, Chris. This is your house and your world. Live your life. 2, Candace will always have a nice charcuterie board. And did y'all notice how they showed Candace's and then the next scene they showed Robin's in plastic? Like, we get it, guys. That's not Robin's thing. She's not very much like house mom, you know, entertaining type. That's not Robin's lane, and it's okay. I will say, I don't know if you guys saw it, and I wish I can find it. Candace did this live with this guy who went in on her. And I really grew to appreciate her because he was going in on her, calling her all these names. And there was like a split screen and you saw Candace over there and she was like, you basically like, yep, you right. Let me get it all. I know I deserve it. So just keep going, lay it on me. So I really grew to enjoy Candace in that moment. Again, that was Candace outside the show. But my, how those have changed. The good thing about this episode, Candace came to sit down outside and talk to Chris about business, and it was like 4:30, and she was like, hey, I know I only have 30 minutes to have this conversation with you because they set a rule to stop business talk off at 5 o'clock, which is great for the relationship. But like, as my manager, what if something comes in an email at like 7 o'clock? I would typically text my manager. You telling me I can't do that with you? So it's like positives and negatives to it. I get it, and I appreciate that they turn business off and they're able to be husband and wife. It's just, how do you strictly cut the business out? Okay, let's talk this invitation for this couple's trip. First and foremost, their group chat is called the Flossy Posse, which is a reference to Girls Trip. I forget who she was talking to, but they didn't understand it, and I live. But I'm gonna go ahead and screenshot the invitation here. Y'all know I'm screenshot shorty, so I always got the screenshot of the screenshot in the show. But this was weird for me. How did Wendy go from that at the Shady or Reasonable to now being Zen Wen as if nothing happened because she wants to plan a fun trip? Like, I can't just forget about how you spoke to me and about me here and then come on your trip like it's all cool. It's weird. Now, here's one thing that I hate, because this has happened to me and it's all for show. Giselle responded to the group chat even though she was just talking to Wendy. And the only reason that she did that is because she wanted a show. She wanted everybody to see and hear her shady response. And it's like, but you were directing it just to her. So why didn't you have a conversation just with her? You wanted the crowd? Okay. All right. So it's like, whatever, you have a group. Anyway, I did like Robin's response. Robin basically acted like she wasn't even going to say anything. She was just like, yeah, have fun, like, good. Like, I thought that was a very passive aggressive, shady way of saying it. So I liked it. But let's be serious. Like, we knew Robin wasn't going to go if Giselle's not going. So whatever. I actually understand Robin's issue with Wendy because Wendy straight attacked her. And it's really only because of the association between her and Giselle. So, yeah, you can miss me with the trip, even though I see they come later. But, like, all right. One thing that I wrote, and that's a sidebar, Robin said if Candace didn't know Mia's situation with her mom, is it bad that she said your mom's low budget? Because she don't really know what's going on. Also, I was talking to my homeboy before, and I'm like, why is it that when we say your mom jokes, and when nobody even knows your mother, it hits? But if somebody were to be like, your father's low budget, Wendy probably would have been like, you right. I do appreciate that everybody was invited though, right? Because unlike Candace's shoot where she just didn't invite Ashley, even though they do things as a group or whatever, Wendy did invite everyone, which is also what Karen is doing for her wedding. And I think maybe that's the right thing to do. Yeah, Karen and Giselle have history, so she hasn't said anything like crazy. I'm kind of on Robin's side for not inviting Wendy to her nuptials whenever those hit. Also, why was Ray being so messy when he asked who Giselle was going to bring and he said the hairstylist? Why are these husbands so messy? But who are the groups, guys? Because a lot of people are now like mixing and shifting. Like, clearly it's Robin and Giselle. And then Ashley is now in that mix too. Oh my God. Have y'all seen this little TikTok dance thing that they did? I feel like Giselle's new tagline should be, I can get Botox, but it'll never stop my dancing from looking old. And then we have Mia and Karen. Candace and Wendy were both like on an island, two separate islands. But now Wendy has come over into the Mia and Karen world. Sometimes it's like they have beef sometimes and sometimes they don't. But they're like, who's Candace's person? She's always by herself. Is that why you mad? And then when we get into the group, like, I really liked Mia, G, Wendy, Eddie. I really liked that group of four together. Even when Candace came with Chris, that little moment with the husbands was cute until G started getting like, our boy Gordon. Let's first start off with the fact that he didn't even want to go on this trip with a group. He was like, yo, I want to be with my wife. We haven't had an individual trip for us two in a while. And the first trip that we go on is with another group of people. So he was like, I'm not even for it. And then when he got there, he was like, hold on, am I supposed to be carrying my own luggage? Am I supposed to be parking my own car? Like, who's doing this for me? So I bang with G. I love that Eddie laughed when he was like, yeah, valet, go park my car. Because, you know, if that was Candace, she would have been like, do I look like valet to you? So I love that the guys could like laugh and joke about that and know that Gordon is not like really going in on Eddie like that. It's a joke. They were taking shots, and so they took 2 shots together, and then they took a shot every time someone came in. So G is on like 6 shots. He was drinking a drink. I thought like, oh, maybe Mia gave him and was like, yo, you need to drink this orange juice. But I don't think G is the type of person who could be told that. So that was probably also a mixed drink. So my man is at least 5, 6 shots in and a mixed drink in, and he was going all out. And I'm gonna blame some of this on the alcohol, but I will say there's a couple of things that I was like, and y'all know what I'm talking about. First of all, I wasn't mad at him talking about he goes to the strip club and Mia saying she goes with him, all this other stuff. I will say, I love that Mia is very open with this group, but she's gonna learn, and she probably will learn. And it's unfortunate that she can't be her true self, her full self with this group, because they're going to use everything that she says against her. She was very open about all her plastic surgery. She was open about working in a strip club where she met her husband. She's open with some people about her mom. And now it's just being thrown back in her face. And that's what makes people not open up to people, because they think they can't trust you with, it's not even a secret, but they can't trust you with their truth because you're just going to throw it back at them. And it's like, I hate that she's going to have to curb that, but she don't have to, because these girls are not her friends. Nah, back to our boy G. The gestures, we can't do that. Especially for the professor, the TV commentator, the go out and vote. We can't do that with her. And you have like female clients. We got to calm that down. I do appreciate the fact that Mia was like, that's him. I can't tell G what to do. G is G all day. But when he said, shut the f up, I knew in that moment, it wasn't a time to make a big deal and let everyone see that you have a huge issue, because we know he wasn't saying that like abusively, right? But don't do that shit mixed company. We'll have a conversation about it later and talk about how you need to just not do that, because everyone doesn't receive it well. And yes, it's not that I'm worried about how people are receiving our love and the way that we communicate, but that is not something positive you say. So let's not do that, especially in mixed company. So I do like how light Mia took that. They were upstairs all talking about it like, oh my God. And she was like, oh, that bothered y'all? Remember, that happened to me. So why are you upset? Somebody actually said that Michael and G are very similar, and I thought that was great. They are older. They done had their first marriages. They're done with that and they're living their life. They're like, look, I'm gonna do what I want. I'm not gonna have a woman hold me down, or excuse me, keep me back. She will hold me down. But I don't know if y'all have older uncles who like single older uncles, or older uncles who have gotten divorced and maybe in their next relationship. Like this, that's this. They make jokes. They want people to like them. Like, oh, we've been married 8 years, 7 years too long. Like, ha, 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 look at you. Like, that's an old uncle thing. That's just what old men do. No shades calling G an old man, but like, he is in another generation, fam. That's what they do. He's just trying to be the life of the party and relive his youth. That's the older guy who can still hang with the young guys, to be like, oh, look, they don't look at me like I'm older, but like, we all know. But yeah, I'm not mad at Mia and G's relationship. First of all, I'm sure Mia was like, go sit your down. Because remember, we saw G sitting down by himself while everything was going on. He was just sitting down on the side. So I appreciated that. I don't know if he came to or if Mia told him to sit down. But I loved when she was like, come on, pimp, the hoe is here. Before all of that, Wendy was like, yo, hold all this up. Let's talk about rooms. And I think she did the rooms exactly right. Everyone who was in the cottage got to pick first. Candace, who put her in the cottage, got to pick last. And Mia was just the person in the middle. And then the two who haven't come yet, of course you're last. I thought she did that perfectly. But now let's get to this. Because I'm really tired of Candace yapping. I really don't enjoy it. And I don't like I said, I don't really like to talk shit about people, but that bugs me because she is representative of something that needs to be squat like a little gnat. Like, Get out. And I'm gonna put the love filter on when I say this because y'all know we need it. Because there was no love amongst these two. But both of these women said their own things back and forth. Even when they were not around each other, Candace did her own dig where she was like, she threw up the projector, which also, you went to Howard. You know that is Candace Greek? Anyway. Mia made the comment that maybe her husband needs to not be her manager and be her husband, essentially saying that Candace needs some D so she could be in a better mood. Candace called her a jolly green giant. Mia called her video low budget, and she tried to front like it was constructive criticism, but it was said in anger, right? It's not like you said it when you were happy about it. You probably thought it the whole time, but you mentioned it when y'all were angry and arguing at the reasonable or shady events. So that wasn't constructive criticism, but that was a nice try. Candace said that Mia has big feet. Mia said that Candace was a broke bee, referring to Candace and maybe whoever else was in the room, but yeah. And then Candace tried to say, oh, I would never say that you were found on the curb by a pimp, but she says it. I appreciate Wendy stopping in the middle of that bedroom scene when they were going back and forth and just being like, Wendy, are you okay? Because I see these two women ganging up on you right here. And I know how that may feel to have two people coming at you. So I actually really appreciated that like girlfriend moment from her. But then when they left, and Mia walked right by her, not saying anything, totally ignoring Candace as she's yapping. And she's like, oh, it's not affecting her? Let me be louder as she walks further away. Let me say something even more disrespectful because clearly my words aren't hitting enough. So let me go right for the jugular. And it's just like, that's how Candace always fights. Verbally. Y'all remember in the beginning of the season, Mia would like take an argument and turn it into a business venture? I feel like she had candles. She had a makeup kit. What else did she have? We just haven't seen any lately. Is Mia gonna come out with a line of salads? Maybe she'd come out like salad seasoning. That's something easier, right? Mia. What's next? But let's actually talk about everything that started the salad throwing because, again, this was 100% Candace's fault. She yaps and doesn't know when to stop. And again, she is protected. And when people walk away or when people get in the middle of her, she starts getting louder. And then when she realized that Mia wasn't paying any attention to her, and again, her words weren't getting through to her, she said, you know what we'll get through? I'm going to throw something at her. Because I'm a child, right? I have to throw a tantrum. I'm going to throw some lettuce. That'll do it. That'll make her realize how angry I am. And that will upset her. She is purposefully provoking her. Again. But did y'all catch that moment in the middle where Ashley was like, you don't know her story. And Candace said, you don't know her story either. And then Ashley was like, I spend more time with her than you do. It's just like, are people really fighting to figure out who's better friends? But y'all saw how everyone, when Candace threw that, even people, like woman who was riding with Candace, when she threw that, everybody was like, oh, come on. Even Mia said like, yo, you need to grow up. And Candace over there yelling, you need to learn how to finish things. What does that mean? What does that mean? If you're going to start it, you need to learn how to finish it? Candace, did you think you throwing something was you finishing it? You think you throwing real low, disgusting, negative comments towards people, are you finishing it? What kind of child mentality you have to have where you like, I need to get the last laugh, the biggest punch, the worst threat, the most immature, like, what are we doing? Who are you really competing against? And then she went in on her mother again, and Mia was like, you don't even know my mother. And Candace said, you don't even know mine. Yet, remember, Mia was saying all this positive stuff about Candace's mom. Mia was like, I aspire to be like your mother. She's raising a daughter. I want to know how she's raising a good daughter. And then Candace didn't even listen to that. And she was just like, well, she wasn't found in a strip club. It's just like, why was that warranted? What is Candace actually mad at? Is it because she called her low budget video low budget? We were in a parking lot with no point of contact person and no car. What was the set? Did you even have a permit to be there? But even then, after she said all that stuff, Mia still didn't respond with the foolishness because she's not going to stoop down to that level until you throw something at me. Then let's not forget Mia was a foster kid, okay? She did not have that Dorothy silver spoon. So it's great to see where she is today and the poise that she has, the businesswoman that she is. But you throw, she's going to throw back. And Candace, we know your type. You wouldn't bust a grape in a fruit fight. But yet Mia needs therapy. I can't, y'all. And look at next episode. Chris is over here trying to gather his wife and she is making this scene. And I'm just like, this is crazy. This is the second season of this foolishness. Now, Giselle and Robin weren't there, so I'm really curious as to whose side they're going to be on. They don't really bang with Mia like that, but are they going to come to and be like, wait, even though I was on your side last season, last year, Candace, this is the second time. You're always in the middle of something. You don't know how to curb your mouth. You, my friend, are the problem. All right, y'all. This was from Rizzo with Love. This recap, I mean, I was just so upset. I was like disgusted after I watched this episode at how Candace was speaking. And like, I was literally Karen's face. That was me. Karen's face is always me. I live for this. What happened to GVO, guys? Is it time for us to say goodbye to Candace? Because things are getting ridiculous. Portia had to take a break. I think it's time that we make Candace take a break. All right, y'all. If you like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the alerts. Make sure you know when these next ones are coming out. I typically drop my Real Housewives of Potomac Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If you are an Insecure or Married at First Sight fan, make sure you also subscribe to this channel because I release content for Married at First Sight and Insecure when it comes back. So subscribe so you can make sure you stay in the know. Guys, I think we got about like 10 more episodes and I really don't know. We need to see, where's the happy part of this? Because we gonna, Karen, when is your wedding? Juan and Giselle, are y'all ever, Juan and Giselle, look at that. Juan and Robin, are y'all ever planning something? Because we need it. I just need something, guys. Some positivity, some light. Can we see Dylan again? Dylan. It's a bad, I like Dylan. I like Dylan. I'm not gonna trump them, but I like Dylan. All right, y'all. Remember, everything that I have said has been from Rizzo with Love. I will see you guys next week. Bye. Hit that subscribe.